This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Europe faces fresh disruption to energy supplies due to damage to a pipeline system that brings oil from Kazakhstan through Russia, the pipeline operator said on Monday, adding to concerns over a plunge in gas supplies. CPC, which handles about 1% of global oil and whose largest shareholder is Russian pipeline firm Transneft, said exports from two of its three mooring points at a Black Sea terminal had been suspended, confirming a Reuters report. The West accuses Russia of restricting energy supplies to boost prices in retaliation for sanctions imposed after Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, which the Kremlin calls a special military operation. Russia denies this, blaming Western sanctions themselves and various technical problems.
Russia held its spot as China's top oil supplier for a third month in July, data showed on Saturday, as independent refiners stepped up purchases of discounted supplies while cutting shipments from rival suppliers such as Angola and Brazil. Imports of Russian oil, including supplies pumped via the East Siberia Pacific Ocean pipeline and seaborne shipments from Russia's European and Far Eastern ports, totaled 7.15 million tons, up 7.6% from a year ago, data from the Chinese General Administration of Customs showed. Still, Russian supplies in July, equivalent to about 1.68 million barrels per day, BPD, were below May's record of close to 2 million barrels of oil per day. China is Russia's largest oil buyer.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Turkey doubled its imports of Russian oil this year, Refinitiv Econ data showed on Monday, as the two countries are set for broader cooperation in business and especially energy trade in the face of Western sanctions against Moscow. Trade between Turkey and Russia has been booming since spring as Turkish companies not banned from dealing with Russian counterparts stepped in to fill the void created by EU businesses leaving Russia after its invasion of Ukraine earlier this year. Russia calls its actions in Ukraine a special military operation. Turkey increased oil imports from Russia, including Urals and Siberian light grades, beyond 200,000 barrels per day, BPD, so far this year compared to just 98,000 barrels of oil per day for the same period of 2021, Refinitiv data showed.
Oil prices fell on Monday in volatile trading, ending 3 days of gains, on fears aggressive U.S. interest rate hikes may lead to a global economic slowdown and dent fuel demand. Brent crude futures for October settlement fell $3.99, or 4.1%, to $92.73 a barrel by 14:11 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate, WTI, crude for September delivery, due to expire on Monday, was down $3.77, or 4.1%, at $87. The more active October contract was down $3.73, or 4.1%, at $86.71. Choppy trade continues. There remain many factors influencing the oil price right now, from a tight market to a diminishing growth outlook and a potential Iran nuclear deal, said Craig Earlham, senior market analyst at OANDA. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Global primary aluminium output in July rose 2.06% year-on-year to 5.848 million tons. Data from the International Aluminium Institute, IAI, showed on Monday. Estimated Chinese production was 3.468 million tons in July, the IAI said.
Gold prices fell to near a one-month low on Monday amid sharp declines among precious metals due to a stronger dollar as looming Federal Reserve interest rate hikes dented bullion's appeal. Extending losses into a sixth straight session, spot gold was down 0.6% to $1,737.92 per ounce by 10:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 14:13 GMT, after hitting its lowest level since July 27 earlier in the session. U.S. gold futures dropped 1% to $1,746. The dollar hit a fresh 5-week high versus major currencies, making greenback-priced gold more expensive for overseas buyers.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Grain Traders Union (UGA) on Monday cut Ukraine's 2022 combined grain and oilseeds crop forecast to 64.5 million tons from the previous outlook of 69.4 million due to a smaller than expected harvested area caused by the Russian invasion. The union said in a statement that Ukraine could export 32.8 million tons of its key agriculture commodities in the 2022-23 season, including 10 million tons of wheat. The government has said Ukraine could harvest at least 50 million tons of grain this year, compared with a record 86 million tons in 2021, because of the loss of land to Russian forces and lower grain yields.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.